I was thinking, Initiate, perhaps you should go see Hlaalu-Indoril. You could persuade him to forgive Calitia. It would weaken the Indoril's claim that she needs to face their brand of justice. The blacksmith is likely bitter, so convincing him won't be easy. Tell me more of Hlaalu-Indoril. I wish Hlaalu hadn't turned out to be so vengeful. She almost killed him, though. Come on. I feel like... I feel like... True, but she did almost kill him. Right, she literally almost poisoned him straight up to death. Tell me more about duties. Calitia needs our help, Initiate. This is an urgent matter. Okay, Calitia, what's going on? I need the temple's protection, Lyle Schnub. Tell me your background. I'm Calitia, follower of the Three! When we had last left the Nerevarine, they wrapped up their duties with Almas Thirr's Mages Guild chapter, and now set their sights on the Tribunal Temple located there in the same city. It was a place that was torn between two rival great houses. That's right. Great House Hlaalu and Indoril were in the area, each vying for power. But it was the Tribunal Temple that was in the middle of it all, trying to keep the peace. As it turned out, there was a local smithy who had fallen ill thanks to some toxic, nasty powder that was placed inside of his forge, that was also inside of his dwelling. It was placed there by none other than an agent of House Hlaalu, and this was about to spin out of control and get House Indoril involved. But thankfully, the Nerevarine stepped in and kind of aided and abetted a bit of a cover-up. And also, who could forget when they walked really far with a rock in their shoe, and it hurt a lot. Now is time to talk to more of the Tribunal Temple and see what else they wanted. This is the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind Tamriel Rebuilt. This is Morrowind Mondays. Welcome back. Zoop. There we are. Now, apologies as well. Probably no fun voices again this week. I tried before I hit record, and I don't think I can do it without coughing. I'm not quite back there yet. I don't think I can do it without coughing. Apologies. Anyway, let's see here. Let's see. Loris Delon, I guess, is who we ought to speak with, right? What brings you to the temple, Initiate? Have you been lax in your duties? I've not been lax. In fact, I'm ready for more. I don't have any duties for you, but you're needed at the Office of Intercession in the Canton Plaza. Go there and find Idura Voron. She needs someone to deliver a letter for her. The Office of Intercession? The office is in the Canton Plaza. Its head is Sarah Andor Arothi, the Major Domo of the Crossing. Right, we've heard a bit about you. The esteemed Major Domo Arothi presides over the city of Almas Thirr on behalf of the Lord Archcanon. He's a wise man who only wants the best for Almas Thirr and its citizens. Unfortunately, his already difficult task is made much harder by houses Indoril and Hlaalu, who constantly bicker like children and scheme and conspire against each other. Okay. Fair enough. In the Canton Plaza.
What do you want of me, Outlander?
We've been there a little bit. Let's head on out. Okay, up and around here. And we can't actually reach the plaza from this section. So we'll just head on out immediately. I have to go around over this way. Good. Okay. Sure. And then let me bring up my map here. I'm assuming it's one of the major, the major buildings in the center. Let's do a quick save.
Welcome to Almas
War Ordinator. What would the difference be? Okay. Do they have anything interesting to say about... No. About the Major Domo? What about you, Nurlis? Greetings, Outlander. You wouldn't have happened to come across a Khajiit by the name of Alajar, have you? I don't know anything about that. We'll be back in a hot minute, dude. Okay.
Not stray from Belon's path.
Limeware flask. Eileen Taloth? What brings you to the temple, Initiate? Have you been lax in your duties? Can I get duties from you? Okay. I've no duties for you just yet. You should speak with Laura Stellan down at the Wasteworks Temple, right? Who are you? Your background? Seriously, Outlander? I tell you I'm busy, and this is what you decide to ask? You didn't tell me you were busy! You asked if I was lax in my duties. Okay. What's going on over here? Ildari Dorvi. Oh, there's the... Okay. I still have to find Idura Varan, though. Can I speak with Orothi? Andor Orothi? What brings you to the canton's upper levels, Initiate? If you are on a pilgrimage, you have my blessings. But I'm afraid I've little time to speak. Your blessings? Temple faithful and reverent guests may make offerings at shrines and receive, in return, a blessing. Okay. Tell me about yourself, the Major Domo. Yes, that is the title that I, by the grace of Almsivi, hold. I was chosen by the Lord Archcanon to govern this holy city, to keep its citizens content and its coffers full, but most importantly, to not let anyone defile its sanctity. Almas Thirr always belonged to the temple, and I shall do everything in my power to ensure that while it stands, it never leaves our control, no matter the cost. I do find it really peculiar how much, when you inquire about, or when you ask people who are representatives of the temple, they tend to really associate the Tribunal Temple as its own institution divorced from divorced from House Indoril, despite House Indoril being the most, outwardly pious of every great house. They try not to, have much in the way of favoritism, at least in this area, and at least in, this ranking of them. Maybe higher ranking members have some sort of bias or whatever. Because I would imagine that if you asked a lot of House Indoril people, they would remark that, House Indoril is being the closest to the Tribunal Temple. They're nearly one and the same. Okay, Idura Varan. Man, you got a whole, pleasure zone up in here. Okay. Idura Varan! You're the courier I asked for. Good. I need you to deliver this letter to Indoril Donvos. Okay. Well, who's that? Indoril Donvos can be found in Roadir. You do know the way to Roadir, don't you? It's the Indoril Chapel estate, just east of here. Here's the letter, sealed as you can see. The letter is meant for the young lord's eyes only, so make sure you hand it to him personally. One can never be too careful these days. Here's some coin for the road, too. Okay, tell me about Roadir. Is House Indoril's port on the Thur River, and the chapel of the Indoril Ilvi. Only the goddess's city can rival its canals and stately bridges in beauty and splendor. Tell me about Indoril Chapel. Indoril chapels are manor complexes from which the highest-ranking Indoril govern their lands. Okay. I can ask again about it? Okay. Sure. I mean, should I read it? Or maybe it's a test. Maybe I shouldn't read it.
Divided by the three.
Okay. Oh. Eileen Taloth. Pardon me for bothering you, Initiate, but are you perhaps carrying a letter to Indoril Donvas? I am. Yes, you're carrying a letter meant for the young lordling of Roadir, if I'm not mistaken? Question mark. That's right. Lie. Letter? What letter? I don't think that's any of your business. Yeah, I'm carrying a letter. Very good. Now, I would like you to give that letter to me, if you please. Why? I don't think I should. Sure, here you go. I won't give it to you for free. Lie. I already opened and read the letter. Wait, I can lie about having opened and read it? God, I didn't think that this would be a possibility. I'm gonna lie and say that I already opened and read it. Fuck it, why is it how deranged? I already opened and read the letter. You did? Tell me what was in it. I want to know what that novice is up to. Here, read it for yourself. Lie, the letter is just a short essay about temple doctrines. No, this letter is not for you. Huh. Should I lie again? I'm gonna lie again, fuck it. The letter's just a short essay about temple doctrines. An essay? Well, very well, that seems harmless enough. You may deliver the letter to Indoril Donvas. I bid you a good day, Sarah. Walk in Vela's footsteps. Oh, that was easy enough.
Something to say, Outlander?
What did I write about this? Laura Stellan asked me to go to the Office of Intercession in the Almas Thirr Plaza and find Idura Varan. She asked me to do some small delivery task Idura has for me. Idura Varan gave me a letter, which I'm supposed to deliver to Indoril Donvas, a young Indoril noble. Idura told me that he can be found in the chapel estate of Roadir, east of Almas Thirr. I was approached by Eileen Taloth, a temple disciple. She asked me if I was delivering a letter to Indoril Donvas. I spun a lie about the contents of the letter, and Eileen Taloth believed me. She thanked me for this information and bid me good day. Hang on, maybe... Can I go back over here and tell, Varan? No, I can't. Okay. Very well. Let's head on over. Good. Then over here. And then they said to the east. Oh dear. The chapel estate of Roadir. Okay. Isn't Roadir the really fucking big one though? How am I to find this dude? Yeah, this is Roadir. Okay. Who's this guy? Dover Salvi. Hello, stranger. I'm primarily a fisherman by trade, but I rest here so that I can ferry the occasional visitor to Roadir across the water. Just toss a coin my way. Tell me about destination? I can take you across the water to Roadir for a bit of coin. How much? 1 gold. Okay, I'll toss you a coin. Thank you. Oh my gosh. How did you get through here? Oh, what if I want to leave? There's no friendly fisherman ferry. Okay. Cool tent.
Will this take long?
Yeah, or no, actually. But do you know where... Yeah, where can I find Indoril Ilvi? Indoril Ilvi governs the Anthirin, or at least the parts of it submissive to righteous law and order. I have the honor of serving as his retainer. What about Indoril Donvas? I ask myself, do I like you enough to tell you about this? No, but you're about to. Okay. You have a letter for the young Sergio. I can take it off your hands and deliver it to him myself. No thanks, I just need some directions, please. Sure, here you go. Man, there's so many opportunities for this to go awry. I just need some directions, please. The young Sergio can be found meditating by the shrine of his ancestors on the bottom floor of the Crossing of Lamps. That's the central building here in Roadir. Okay, what's your background? You may address me as Anith Falovil, spellsword and a quarter of Great House Indoril. So central building, crossing of lamps, bottom floor. Okay. Is this the central building? It is. And am I on the bottom floor right now?
Go away.
We might be. Indoril Guard, Duranya.
Will this take long?
Oh no, we're not on the bottom floor at all. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at all these heads. Okay.
Oh,
Let me do a quick
leave
save.
me alone.
Wow. I guess it's, yeah, Indoril Donvas. All these heads. Look, they're placed in a very peculiar way. With some very peculiar candles as well. Some sort of puzzle. Okay. A glass tanto, glass dagger, glass throwing knife. Huh. Okay. Well, hello. Indoril Donvas. Special delivery. If you've come to Roadir to speak with my father, make it quick. There are countless matters that require his attention. I'm actually here for you. Can I persuade you up? Yep. Okay. Got a letter for you. A letter from Idira Varan. Thank you. Here's your gold. Consider the letter delivered. Okay. Ah, but you're not a mere courier, are you, Outlander? You're a sworn member of the Temple. An Outlander following the teachings of the Three. How unusual. In fact, perhaps you could offer some unique insight to a dilemma that I am facing. It's the problem of a good death. Problem of a good death. Oh no, it's not what you think. I am not facing death myself. The problem concerns a slave, and my father, the illuminated Indoril Ilvi, has seen it fit that I should be the one to resolve the matter. But allow me to start from the beginning. There was an incident at the pier. Our slaves were unloading cargo from a ship when one of them fell down from the gangway. I do not know if it was simple clumsiness or if he was trying to escape, but the fall ended badly for him nonetheless. The slave got trapped and crushed between the ship's hull and the dock. The others managed to drag him out of the water, but I'm told that he doesn't have an unbroken bone in his body and is currently dying a slow death. So, you see, the problem is what to do now. The slave is sure to die, yes, but the manner in which he dies is in my hands. I want to do what's right. I've meditated on this for quite some time now, but have not found a clear answer. Since you are both a devout of the temple and an outlander, I'm interested to hear your perspective on this dilemma. What do you think would be the right thing for me to do? Please do not be fazed by my status in your response. Speak freely. It's not right to own slaves to begin with. I have a suggestion. I have questions first. I refuse to take part in this. May I think about this for a moment in private? I mean, regardless of what I say about owning slaves to begin with, this guy may even disagree with the notion as well. But it's irrelevant here, right? They're like, what can I do to this end? I have some questions first. Ask your questions. Oh my gosh, fuck me, I have a lot I can ask. Tell me more about the slave. What's his name? Perhaps the slave's life can still be saved? You said that you had meditated on this. What do you think should be done? Don't you think owning slaves is wrong in the first place? Alright, I think I know how the slave should die. On second thought, I refuse to take part in this. Hold on, may I think about this for a moment in private? Tell me more about the slave. What's his name? The slave is an Argonian, but I have not seen him with my own eyes, and I do not know his name. Doesn't it bother you that you don't even know his name? Alright, I have some other questions for you. I think I have a suggestion for a good death. I've heard enough. I refuse to take part in this. Hold on. May I think about this for a moment in private? Doesn't it bother you that you don't even know his name? No, it doesn't bother me. Do you think it reflects badly on me? Answer me this, Outlander. Does the Emperor in Cyrodiil know the names of all of his subjects? I think not. And still he has power over their lives. Does he not? The slave's name is irrelevant to me. What I want is to give him a good death. Comparing yourself to the Emperor? You're delusional. Alright, I have some other questions for you. I think I have a suggestion for a good death. I think his folly is in a point of comparison, but not in comparing himself to the Emperor. It's in comparing, you know, the rights and, like, the presumed civic rights and all of that of a citizen of the Tamrielic Empire versus a slave, someone who is considered not, like, a person in the same way, right? Someone who is considered fucking property. That's the delusional point of comparison. Not between him and the Emperor. Alright, I have other questions for you. Perhaps the slave's life can still be saved? If it was possible, we would not be having this discussion. I've been told by my servants that the slave's situation is hopeless. Hopeless or not, a healer should tend to the slave and try to save him. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I cannot help but wonder if you're being willfully ignorant of the hopelessness of the situation. The slave is doomed. There is no healer under the sky that could help him. It would be useless to try. I will resolve this matter on my own. You may go, Outlander. Your journal has been updated. Huh. Okay. I told Indoril Donvis that a healer should tend to the slave. Indoril Donvis didn't think my advice was very helpful, and assumed that I'm being willfully ignorant of the hopelessness of the situation. The problem is I don't know if he's for real, that that such a thing is possible for someone to have, you know, like, we could have 1 HP and heal back up from that. You know, if we want to get very game mechanic focused here, if you still got 1 HP, you can be healed back up. Right? If a healer can still get you. Do you think this is the Argonian? Van Lay.
Is new.
What is it, Sarah?
Andra Irano? No. Indoril Guard? No.
I can already tell I'm not going to like this.
Is there anything else I can say to this guy? Problem of a good death. I already heard your advice, Lyle Schnub. Okay. How interesting.
What is it now?
Okay, well, let's get on out of here. I'm very curious what was in the letter. And why it was that so many people had interest in, like, intercepting it. Sorry, excuse me here real quick. Alright, we are back. Sorry about that. Let's get some speed going as we make our way back to Almas Thirr over here. Thankfully, quite easy to get back. Yeah, had to cough a little bit right there. Unfortunately. I don't know what the deal is, though. Certainly had a whole lot of reading and all that not too long ago in other videos I've put out recently. I don't know why that set me off. Maybe it's like there's the density of reading present in Morrowind is just higher than other games because even the conversations are technically reading. Maybe that's it? I don't know. But either way, took some cough suppressant, some cough meds, so we'll see. Fortunately, as well, like I've remarked, the extent of this is pretty much just the cough. I guess I have, like, the occasional sniff, but otherwise incredibly manageable. And, frankly, incredibly annoying. Alright. Let's see, who should I report to about this? I guess the person who gave me the letter?
3 blessings.
Idira Varan. Have you delivered the letter to Indoril Donvus? I have. You're back. Did you give the letter to Indoril Donvus? I did. Good. And I trust everything went well? There were no, surprises on the way? Eileen Teloth wanted me to show her the letter. Lie. No, not really. Oh, we could also lie about that. We could lie to both of them? I wonder if there's a separate outcome for just lying to fucking everyone. Huh. Eileen Teloth wanted me to show her the letter. She did. You didn't let her read it, did you? I lied to her about its contents. Oh, that's good. Though, pardon me for asking, but you didn't read the letter yourself, did you? Of course not. Thank you, Lyle Schnaub. I don't understand why Eileen would be so mistrusting of me. I can guarantee that there was nothing in that letter that was any of her concern. I knew I could trust you. Go back to Laura Stellan and give her my regards. She was wise to choose you for this task.
It's a scribby trick, all right.
Okay. Iduravaron thanked me for delivering the letter to Indoril Donvus and gave me some gold. She told me to return to Laura Stellan. Huh. Okay. Well, let's head on back over to the Wasteworks Temple. There we go. Great. I feel as if a lot of this stuff was unrelated, but who can say?
Truth and faith.
Okay.
Greetings. Is there something I can...
Let's try and travel over here. I like the idea of Morrowind's system where, you know, you can break into letters, and sometimes it gives you the opportunity, and we may have had one there, to hide that you, like, peeked inside of a letter or a package or whatever, you know? That exists in the core game, so maybe it existed here too. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not sure, do I like it or not? I don't know. I feel like it could definitely get pretty old, you know? You could have that happen a whole lot. But so far, I think I'm okay with it here. Laura's still on. You're back. I assume that you delivered Iduravaron's letter. Then I have some new duties for you, Initiate. Okay. Looks like the things we can ask about are already lit up. Sure, duties. You're back, Initiate. That's good. I'm sending you on a mission to Old Ebonheart. You're an outlander, so who would be better suited to weed out outlandish heresy than you? Outlandish heresy? The two heretics in question are Sertiel and Hastophos Velifer. Temple devoutes who have visited the city of Old Ebonheart have made numerous complaints about them, and we simply can't go ignoring them any longer. Now, the Ordinators would love to pay a visit to these Outlanders, but the Imperials would never let them enter the city. That's why I'm sending you there. Talk to them and make them respect the Temple law. Remember to be very discreet. Temple law means little to the Empire. Okay. Tell me about Hastophos Velifer. Oh, this is the guy we know. He is a necromancer by trade. Can you believe such a thing? It bears testament to the moral decay of the Empire that they allow him to live and openly practice his craft in the city. And it pains me that we can't simply have the Ordinators deal with him. I've been told that he has offered his abhorrent services to native Dunmer, spitting in the faces of our gods and ancestors. Let him know what he is doing is against the Temple law, and that he must cease doing it. Okay. And what about Sertiel? She's a trinket peddler by the docks of Old Ebonheart, selling her wares to foolish outlanders from overseas. Oh, was this the Ash statue peddler? That would be innocent enough, but we've heard from sailors that she spreads falsities about Temple teachings to facilitate her sales, conflating the Tribunal with the good Daedra, among other things. We need her to stop doing that. Talk some sense into her. I imagine that just mentioning the Ordinators should scare her straight. We're becoming the secret police. Okay. Tell me about duties again? You know what your duty is. Weed out the outlandish heresy in Old Ebonheart. With discretion, of course. Okay.
May I help you, Outlander?
I wonder if we can do this with like a House Hlaalu bend. And maybe be a little bit more forgiving of citizens of the Empire. Outlanders as well. Okay, let's head over here. And let's travel over to... Well, we can't get to Old Ebonheart from here. Alright, I'll just take the guild guide. Okay. Good. And then over here. And can you take me to Old Ebonheart? Yep. Thank you. And let's get out of here. Okay. So, where exactly are we in Old Ebonheart right now? Oh yeah, we're right by... What's his name, aren't we? Yeah, right over there. Astolfos Velifer's house. Okay. I guess we'll chat with you first. Okay.
Here to see the castle?
Oh yeah, his little tiny door. Good. Oh yeah, he'll be in the secret chamber now. Yeah, back here.
In good company. What can I do for you?
It does seem remarkably evil. Okay. Well, hello. Welcome to Morrowind's Ebony Heart, citizen. Long may its walls brandish the ruby banner. I'm here about some outlandish heresy you've been up to? It doesn't surprise me that the Tribunal Temple should have some grievances with my trade, but I'm quite surprised that they sent someone all this way to reprimand me. May I ask what I've done, specifically to earn this visit? Specifics don't matter. Necromancy is categorically against the temple law. You've offered your services to native dark elves. What you're doing is heretical and evil. Truth be told, I don't think what you're doing is bad. Right, and mind you, necromancy is legal in Cyrodiil and in the Empire. And it's still technically legal within the Mages Guild, right, at this point in time? All the stuff that goes down in Oblivion has yet to happen. Okay. Truth be told, I don't think what you're doing is bad. If that's the case, then I must respectfully ask that you leave me to my work. My journal has been updated. Okay, but I am here to talk about more. Outlandish heresy. You are persistent, aren't you? Well, go ahead then. Tell me how I'm a wicked heretic who should give up my livelihood to appease the temple. I'm all ears. Necromancy is categorically against the temple law. You've offered your services to native dark elves. What you're doing is heretical and evil. It's all the same. Okay, well, I'll answer the same way. Okay. Astolfos Velifer told me that so long as necromancy is legal in Old Ebonheart, he won't quit practicing it. Okay. He did not tell me that, though. Maybe I can convince him otherwise. Okay. I don't know if necromancy is categorically against the temple law is gonna do anything. What you're doing is heretical and evil. I mean, he doesn't see it that way. If anything, he's like one of the most helpful and kindly necromancers and frankly people that we've met. Alright, yeah. Maybe we can get him to at least stop offering his services to native dark elves. You've offered your services to native dark elves? Oh, I do not discriminate. I offer my services to natives and outlanders alike. However, perhaps the temple will be pleased to hear that only a handful of dark elves have ever sought my help. The temple, it would seem, still holds the monopoly on death in this province. Yo! Okay. You're corrupting the natives. Necromancy is heretical and evil. You're disrespecting the temple with your words. Truth be told, I don't think what you're doing is bad. God, I feel like such a child just saying, like, it's heretical and evil. Right? What a juvenile response. Okay. And of course, disrespecting the temple with your words is so fucking fashy. Okay. You're corrupting the natives. Necromancy is heretical and evil. Heretical? Yes, in the eyes of the temple it evidently is, but evil. To that I must protest. My friend, have you forgotten how I helped you? Oh shit, reactivity. Have you forgotten how I helped you set your poor Miss Ariel's soul free? That is what I do. I help people. Well, regardless of that, other necromancers are evil. Oh yeah, you're all right. If you won't abandon necromancy, this will end in bloodshed. Wow, this is cool that there's reactivity to the other quests we went on here. Okay. I'm gonna say, oh yeah, you're all right. If that's the case, then I must respectfully ask that you leave me to my work. All right, well, we got nowhere here. Okay. Are we gonna get kicked out of the Tribunal Temple for doing this? Is it not compatible with my, my character's, like, ideology, perhaps? Alright, let's go down to the docks. Maybe if we can shut one of them down, it won't be too... they won't come down too hard on me. Right, because if I remember correct, Sirtiel was a bit of a problem. It was you, right? Yeah.
I really don't have time for this, so make it quick.
Greetings, my friend. May I interest you in miraculous talismans and trinkets of my people? Tell me about dark idols. So those ash statues are now illegal. Imagine that. I hear you had a hand in that turn of events, bootlegger. Okay. Who are your people? What do you mean, drop the act? Fine. I don't have anything to do with the Ashlanders. Couldn't even name a single bloody tribe if I had to. But a gal's gotta earn her living, no? It's not like I'm hurting anyone. Just spicing up the old sales pitch with some magic mumbo-jumbo. You know, leave the customers with a sense of wonder. Okay, good lord. What do you think of Hastofos Velifer, by the way? A resident necromancer? You can find his house on the west side of town. Okay. I'm here to put an end to your outlandish heresy. Oh? I'm just using the Daedra and the Tribunal to spice up the old sales pitch. The sailors are just eating it up. What's the harm, really? You're spreading a skewed view of the temple faith. Well, I suppose there's no harm in that. I mean, I feel like this is also a poor argument against what she's doing. Like, you know, this is look, if cultural appropriation could exist within Elder Scrolls, I feel like we're looking at it right now. You know, she's literally a Bosmer, a wood elf, pretending to be a fucking Ashlander. She's decked out in chitin and boiled netch leather, right? She should be fucking sent to Bardal for this shit. You're spreading a skewed view of the temple faith. I guess we'll say that. Well, maybe it's your temple's fault for having such bizarre and confusing teachings in the first place. I mean, what's the deal with the Daedra anyway? Are they good or bad? The good Daedra are good, and the bad Daedra are bad. Alright, you're unwise to disrespect the temple like that. If you honestly want to learn the truth, you should join the temple. I don't have to explain everything to you. I just need you to stop what you're doing. Will she actually join the fucking temple? You should join the temple. Thanks, but no thanks. Doesn't seem like my cup of Sujama. You cannot say that. You cannot say your cup of Sujama. Nobody even says that. Nobody else even says that, let alone should you say that. Nobody says my cup of Sujama. Now, if you're not going to buy anything, I'd like you to leave me alone. Okay. I'm going to talk to you more about the heresy. This again, I told you that I won't be changing my sales pitch just because it makes the temple uneasy. You're spreading a skewed view of the temple faith. Okay, are they good or bad? The good Daedra are good, the bad Daedra are bad. Okay, gotcha. And which ones are the good Daedra again? Just to make sure I don't make any heretical mistakes in the future. Let's see. Oh, look, this is actually a... Huh. They are Azura, Mephala, and Sheogorath. They are Azura, Mephala, and Boethia. Are you mocking the temple? That's not very smart. If you honestly want to learn the truth, you should join the temple. I don't have to explain everything to you. I just need you to stop what you're doing. I like what this quest is doing, you know, putting us in this position. Okay, there are Azura, Mephala, and Boethia. I see. And what about the Tribunal? They're like the children of the three good Daedra, right? Something like that, yes. No, it's not like that. Are you mocking the temple? That's not very smart. No, it's not like that. I see. Uh-huh. Well, this has been most enlightening. You won't be spreading heresies anymore, then? I mean, you can't really expect me to remember all those things you just told me, can you? I'm bound to make errors anyway, so why even bother? I'm just a merchant, not a theologist. Fine, I suppose what you're doing isn't too harmful. You're unwise to disrespect the temple like that. We're gonna fucking put you in Bardal. We're gonna bring down the Ordinators. We're gonna bring down the fucking hammer. You're unwise. Come on. You'd think your living gods had a thicker skin. Do you know what the Ordinators do to blasphemers like you? Well, I suppose there's no harm in what you're doing. I mean, there is very literally harm in what this person has done, right? If anything, what's his name? Hestophos, the necromancer, is a kindly person. They are good. Like, if I'm to legitimately pass judgment on them, knowing what we know about all this, Hestophos, cool dude. Cool dude. Surtiel, literally corrupting the minds of people. Not just figuratively by, like, skewing people's ideas, but was literally selling ash statues that were taking over people's brains. You know, literally corrupting people. Not just, like, with doctrine or whatever, or like a skewed idea of some sort of misinformation, but literally, like, psionically, psychically fucking with people's brains. Do you know what the Ordinators do to blasphemers like you? Ain't I lucky, then, that there aren't any Ordinators around here, huh? In case you haven't noticed, we're in Old Ebonheart. The Ordinators might not be here, but I am. Do you think the Empire will stay in Morrowind forever? The Temple will get you eventually. Fine, whatever. I suppose what you're doing isn't too harmful. The Ordinators might not be here, but I am. You wouldn't really hurt me. Look, will you leave me alone? If I promise that I won't be spreading any more false stories about the Daedra and the Tribunal, please, I won't cross the temple ever again. Here, take this gold. A small donation to show my respect. Did we just take a bribe? We're such a fucking cop, dude. Oh, fuck. All right. Sure. Yeah, thanks. We're doing more cop shit here than I feel like we would have done in the Imperial Legion. Okay. Sure. Greetings, my friend. May I interest you in the miraculous talismans and trinkets of my people? Can I talk more on your heresy? I won't be telling any more stories about the good Daedra and the Tribunal. You have my word. Can you tell me more about the Tribunal? They're the gods the native Dark Elves worship, aren't they? I know 2 of them are named after cities in which they live. Vivek lives in Vivek. Almalexia lives in Almalexia. Yeah, wait until you hear about Sothasil. Okay. Well, let's head on back to Almas Thirr. Fuck, how would I even get to there from here? Can I take a ship? Maybe I can take a ship.
Emperor, King, and
Okay. Over here. See you, right? Yeah, hell yeah. Okay. And then, let's head to the Wasteworks Temple. Do you think they'll be mad if I haven't dealt with Hestophos? I wonder if maybe we can convince him that he's not a problem. Right? I'm having a tough time getting a read on
Welcome.
their situation here. This chapter of the Tribunal Temple. So at some points, it feels like they're leaning more fashy, and then at other points, it feels like they're leaning more just like sincerely good people working in a fucked up system trying to do good with what they have. You know? Because that's always the dichotomy with the Tribunal Temple, and it tends to be, you know, like the lower rank and file members are genuinely like nice people, as we had seen in Endothrin, you know, with people running like the food kitchen and all of that. And then it tends to be like the higher ranking members are either trying to spread like their own fucked up ideals in the world, or are just, you know, profiting off the backs of it in some form or another. Okay, Laura Stellan.
Outlander.
Have you resolved the issue of outlandish heresy in Old Ebonheart, Initiate? You're back. Well, are you finished? Have the 2 heretics been dealt with? Yes. No, not yet. There's still work to be done. Yeah. So Sertiel agreed to stop spreading lies about the Tribunal and the Daedra. That's good. As for Hastophos Velifer, it doesn't surprise me that the Necromancer proved to the more difficult of the 2. I'm sure you did your best. The Ordinators will get him one day, I'm sure. You've done good work, Initiate. Let me know when you're ready for new duties. Scroll of Almsivi. Invitation? Scroll of Impatient Signatures. What are these? Impatient Signatures. Fortify skill short and long blade. 20 points for 2.5 minutes. What a peculiar duration and... Huh. Okay. I'm assuming Tribunal Temple values short and or long blade. Is that true? Is that why they have it here? I don't know that they do they? No, their favored skills as far as weapons are blunt weapon. Huh. How odd. Okay. And then Almsivi, not intervention, but invitation. Oh, it's intervention plus feather 300 points for 300 seconds. Good for hauling crap back and around. Okay. Laura's still on. More duties? I've received a letter from Roadir. Lord Indoril Ilvi asks us to spread his words of wisdom to the common Velothi here in Almas Thirr. Perhaps you can help me, Initiate. Okay. What are his words of wisdom? Lord Indoril Ilvi has written me saying that in these troubled times, he hopes that the temple is doing everything in our power to remind the common Velothi in Almas Thirr that their foremost duty in life is to serve the Tribunal Temple, to serve the Tribunal. His letter came with a supplement of proverbs penned by the good Lord himself, which he hopes will preach to the locals. Now, I've reviewed all the proverbs. On the surface, there's nothing wrong with them, but I don't know, Initiate. They make me uneasy. Uneasy how? Well, listen to this one, for example. The false scales are imbalanced. The truth will tip them over. Oh, shit. Huh. A fine aphorism, one might say, but doesn't it seem to berate House Hlaalu? I don't think so. Yeah, you're right. Depends on how one interprets it. Yeah, you're right. We can't have that. Yes, the symbolism with the false scales is rather heavy-handed, isn't it? Well, whatever the case may be, we will do as Indoril Ilvi asks. There is no reason to antagonize him. I would like you to hand out these proverbs to local Velothi. However, if you're asked to explain what the proverbs mean, I want you to be as neutral as possible in your interpretation. You might also want to show these to Hetman Lothro. She knows the minds of the common folk better than I do. Okay. I kind of am appreciating this. This is a lot more like manipulating the populace than I was expecting given the start. Okay. Lord Ilvi's Words of Wisdoms, volumes 1 through 4, added to my inventory. Tell me more about these words of wisdom. Hand out the proverbs to the local Velothi. However, if you're asked to explain what the proverbs mean, I want you to be as neutral as possible in your interpretation. You might also want to show these to Hetman Lothro. She knows the minds of the common folk better than I do. Okay. Let's see. What would it even be called? There we go. Words of wisdom. Ilvies. Let's read them. Oh, the false scales are imbalanced. The truth will tip them over. One cannot bow to the Emperor without turning their back on the three. Okay. This isn't even really symbolism at this point. Envy not the rich man. His wealth offers no shelter from the storm. Are there gonna be like really pro House Hlaalu options here for me to do this? This guy fucking hates House Hlaalu. A house built on stolen land crumbles. It's a house built on ancestral land that thrives. Okay, sure. Lord Indoril Ilvi wishes that the temple teach a number of religious proverbs, written by him, to the common Velothi of Almas Thirr. Normally this wouldn't be a problem, but Laura Stallan has doubts about these words of wisdom. She thinks this is likely an Indoril ploy to turn the locals against the Hlaalu. She told me I should spread the proverbs to commoners as requested, but be neutral in my interpretation of them. Hetman Lothro, being the Velothi leader, might be able to offer some insight. It is kind of amazing that House Hlaalu here has positioned themselves to benefit actually from the Tribunal Temple. Right? Purely because the temple wants to maintain the status quo in Almas Thirr. Thus they don't want like a house war to break out. Because they benefit more from things running as they are. Okay. Salthus Bellerum? Would you like some words of wisdom? No. Who the fuck are the commoners that want words of wisdom then? My services don't come cheap, Hlaalu, but I'm sure you got plenty of coin. Just kidding. The first question is free, then we'll see. I don't even know who you are, what you do.
Welcome to Almas Thirr, Outlander.
Good God, man. Who am I meant to deliver these words of wisdom to? Just people wandering around outside, maybe?
Please, go ahead, Outlander. I'm listening.
Yeah, no one on the interior actually wants anything to do with this. Okay. There we are. And then, let's see over here. Hello.
I'd be happy to talk.
Calitia?
My pleasure, really.
No, nothing. What about you? Hlaalu-Indoril. Oh, here we are. Words of wisdom. Why the long face, Outlander? Don't worry. I've got just the stuff to brighten up your day. Nothing illegal, of course. Can I admire you some? What all do you have? Vintage Brandy, Sujama, Shane, Grief, and Flynn. Okay. About some of these words of wisdom. The temple has some words of wisdom for me, written by Lord Ilvi. Let's hear them. The false scales are imbalanced. The truth will tip them over. Alright, false scales that fall over. What does it mean? It means that one shouldn't commit fraud when doing business. It means that dishonest people like the Hlaalu are doomed to fail. Lord Ilvi is implying that the Hlaalu are wicked. You can interpret it any way you wish. Search for the meaning within. The real way in which you should be reading Elder Scrolls, any form of text within these games. It means that one shouldn't commit fraud when doing business. Oh, I see. I suppose that makes sense. Thank you for explaining this to me, Lyle Schnub. We're just like enforcing like really stupid ass media literacy. We're just, this is why conservatives have like a really horrible reputation for really shitty media literacy. It's because of people going around doing shit like this. Okay, cool. Let's see. How about you? Belas Dralam.
I guarantee.
How about some words of wisdom? The temple has words of wisdom for me? Written by Lord Ilvi? Let's hear them. One cannot bow to the Emperor without turning their back on the three. What am I gonna come up for this shit? I hear you, but I don't quite understand what it means. The Emperor lives far away. What does this have to do with me? The average median voter. It's such an obvious, it's so fucking plain as day as to what this means, and my man just cannot figure it out. He just has no fucking clue. It means that we shouldn't forget that we're subjects of the Tribunal first. It means that the House Hlaalu, that the Hlaalu have turned their backs on the Tribunal in favor of the Emperor. Lord Ilvi is implying that the Hlaalu are wicked. You can interpret it any way you wish. It means that we shouldn't forget that we're subjects of the Tribunal first. Oh, I see. I suppose that makes sense. Thank you for explaining this to me, Lyle Schnub. You're very welcome. Okay, how about you, my old friend Hlaalu-Indoril? Let me persuade you up. That way you're more likely to believe me. Words of wisdom. The temple has some words of wisdom for me. Written by Lord Ilvi. Let's hear them. Envy not the rich man. His wealth offers no shelter from the storm. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, shit! Oh, I shouldn't have brought it to this guy. Yes, Lord Ilvi is right. He truly is blessed with wisdom. The Hlaalu are wicked and greedy beyond measure. The Indoril are the true defenders of the faith. Oh, no. What do you think of Indoril Ilvi? Oh, okay, nothing new. Okay. How about over here? Anno Dreloth. Oh, I can't give you any words of wisdom. Who else wants some words of wisdom? Can I give you words of wisdom? No, I'm assuming it's just the local Dunmary populace, right? My man was like, yes, they're so fucking wicked. He's right. They're wicked as hell. And you know what? In his defense, they did try to kill him. They did maybe try to kill him just a little bit. They just tried to do a little bit of killing. It was an honest mistake, though. It was an honest mistake. Anyone could have made it. Dinar and Nalan. The crispiest of crust, the smoothest of doughs, the richest of flavors. All can be found right here. Oh my gosh. Wow. Biscuit, bread, Deshaun bread, scrib pie. A man who does not eat scrib pie is never a whole man. I can't even give you words of wisdom. Who else should be keen on my words of wisdom? Is it you, perhaps? No, I already gave you some words of wisdom. Can I give you more? I think I've heard enough, thank you.
Oh, wonderful. I'd be happy to talk. My pleasure.
Dude, she's gonna get killed. I think we've only further radicalized this man back here. It's gonna be a damn problem. Yeah, where are the rest? Can I go do these interior shops? I doubt it, huh? Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, here we go, okay. Feldil Vulanith. The temple has some words of wisdom for me, written by Lord Ilvi. Let's hear them. A house built on stolen land crumbles. It's a house built on ancestral land that thrives. Okay, so one house crumbles and the other one doesn't. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means that you should honor your ancestors and never forget your roots. It means that those who are treacherous, like the Hlaalu, have forsaken their ancestors. Lord Ilvi is implying that the Hlaalu are wicked. Okay, it means that you should honor your ancestors and never forget your roots. Oh, I see. I suppose that makes sense. Thank you for explaining this to me, Lyle Schnub. You're very welcome.
Masera.
Okay. Dude. Hlaalu-Indoril is about to do a fucking hate crime or something. He's gonna do something bad. Something bad is gonna happen. What the fuck? Okay. Hlaalu-Indoril is about to try and, like, start the Morrowind version of the Proud Boys. Or join them, more like. Yeah, he's gonna join Morrowind's Proud Boys. You know, the Morag Tong. You know who they are. Okay. Or not the Morag Tong, sorry, the Kamana Tong. The Kamana Tong. Very different.
Welcome to Almas Thirr.
Okay. Let's head on over here, now that we've spread words of wisdom. Oh.
I don't know where.
Oh god, is she here on witness protection?
Go ahead.
Hello, Loris. I've distributed words of wisdom. You handed out all the proverbs to the Velothi initiate? That's good. And from what I've heard, you didn't make it seem like the temple was on the side of either of the great houses. Thank you for remaining neutral in this matter. Take these potions as a reward for doing your duty. Now, we have an urgent matter in our hands. Okay, what's up? As you probably saw on your way in, there are Indoril foot soldiers at our door. What? I didn't see that. They are here for Calitia. She needs our help. What about the words of wisdom? It seems like no one is any the wiser for them. Still, a request from Indoril Ilvi would not have been wise to deny. Okay. About Calitia. It seems that Hlaalu-Indoril decided to go behind the temple's back in a misguided attempt to seek justice. He has contacted Commander Silsi and told her how Calitia unwittingly poisoned him. The Indoril reacted to this by trying to illegally detain Calitia. She narrowly avoided capture and has sought refuge with us. The Ordinator stationed at the door is holding the Indoril foot soldiers off, but tensions are rising. We will not have bloodshed in Almas Thirr. I want you to resolve this conflict peacefully. I'll do my best. Why are we protecting Calitia? Why are we protecting her again? Because she sought sanctuary from the temple. She has renounced whatever deluded Western spirit she used to worship and is a faithful follower of the Tribunal now. She is? Moreover, she rightly fears for her life. Okay. But she's a Hlaalu agent. A faithful follower of the Tribunal? I doubt it. She's guilty. We shouldn't protect her. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Good, let me know if you need any advice as to how to resolve this situation. You might also want to speak with Calitia. Remember, I want the Indoril foot soldiers to leave, but violence is not an option. Okay. Tell me more about her? I was thinking, Initiate, perhaps you should go see Hlaalu-Indoril. You could persuade him to forgive Calitia. It would weaken the Indoril's claim that she needs to face their brand of justice. The blacksmith is likely bitter, so convincing him won't be easy. Tell me more of Hlaalu-Indoril. I wish Hlaalu hadn't turned out to be so vengeful. She almost killed him, though. Come on. I feel like true, but she did almost kill him. Right, she literally almost poisoned him straight up to death. Tell me more about duties. Calitia needs our help, Initiate. This is an urgent matter. Okay, Calitia, what's going on? I need the temple's protection, Lyle Schnub. Tell me your background. I'm Calitia, follower of the Three! God, hell yes. God, fuck yes. Can we get more, like, Imperials to join the fucking Tribunal Temple? Can we just spread, like, the good word of the fucking Tribunal throughout all of House Hlaalu? This is a point of pivoting for House Hlaalu. No longer is House Indoril the most devout. Not even Not even would House Hlaalu be the second most devout? Not even taking the place of, like, Redoran? No, they're at the top, cream of the crop. Tell me about yourself, Calitia. What? What is it? What you did was wrong. You should surrender to the Indoril. Follow me. I will escort you to Hlaalu lands where you're safe. Why are you here? What do you think we should do? Why are you here? The Indoril commander sent her soldiers to capture me. Thank the three, I escaped from them and ran here for safety. Divine intervention scrolls? You have a scroll of divine intervention? That scroll would whisk me away to the safety of Old Ebonheart, far away from the reach of House Indoril. I could get a boat there back to Hlaalu lands. Please, will you let me use a scroll? No, because then you're going to leave the temple. She didn't like that. Yes, of course I understand. Sorry I said anything about Hlaalu-Indoril. I only put that damn powder in his forge so that the weapons he made for the Indoril would be brittle and useless. How was I supposed to know it would make him sick? I shouldn't have done it, I admit it, but I don't understand why he can't forgive me. If our roles were reversed, I'd like to think that I would be able to forgive him. I don't know if this is meant to be so funny. Oh shit, there they all are! But this is very funny to me, right? I feel like it would be maybe a little more somber and solemn and serious if it were like he was just being hateful, right? He was just being bigoted. He was just being like xenophobic or whatever, racist. But in this case, she did very literally almost kill him. And she was just like, oh, whoops, my bad. I didn't think that would kill him. I didn't think the toxic powder I threw inside of his forge that was inside of his airtight house, I didn't think that would kill him. You're telling me that almost killed that guy? That's crazy. Okay.
How may I help you?
Yeah, hold the line, Ordinator, brother. Loris Delan told you to negotiate with the Indoril? Good. Tell these fools to disperse before I send them all to oblivion? Okay, tell me about these fools. Just say the word and I'll make them disappear. That's not necessary. You'd be okay killing them? Go ahead and kill them now. You'd be okay killing them? I have sworn an oath to defend the temple from all its foes, no matter who they were. I would do it gladly. Damn. God, they're so fucking wild. Okay, tell me, what do you think of Calitia? I have no love for that damn Outlander, but it doesn't matter. Loris Delan said she's under the temple's protection. Yeah, that's right. Remember your fucking place, lapdog. Remember whose boots you're licking. Alright, Commander Silsi. The commander is an arrogant Sawit for sending her foot soldiers against an ordinator of the temple. Maybe you could talk some sense into her. Okay. Alright, can I talk to the Indoril guards here? We have orders to arrest Calitia. Surrender her to us and no one gets hurt. Well, except for her, of course. Can I admire you? Oh shit, can I bribe you? Maybe. Oh hell yeah. Tell me about Calitia. Oh! We got our orders to arrest her from Commander Silsi herself. She authorized us to use force if necessary. You are disrespecting the temple law. Calitia is under the temple's protection. Disperse at once. Listen, boys, you can either leave and live or stay and die. Listen, boys! Wait a moment. I will negotiate with your commander. I need to consult Loris Delan. Just stay calm, okay? Hold on, let me explain the situation to Calitia. Wait a minute, I'm gonna negotiate with your commander. Huh, very well. Commander Silsi can be found in the northern lighthouse on the east bank. Oh, I'm plenty familiar. Commander Urnami Silsi can be found in the Indoril garrison building on the eastern bank, across the bridge from the central canton. We got our orders from her. Okay. Let's head on out. Let's first meet with Hlaalu-Indoril and see if we can maybe get him to come with and call it off. They're out for fucking blood, dude. Okay. Hlaalu-Indoril, this madness needs to stop.
For a good talk.
You again, Lyle Schnub. Is this about Calitia? Has she been arrested and properly punished yet? Alright, I'm gonna admire him up to like a hundo. Ooh, 96. Alright, that's probably good. Okay, let's talk about Calitia. I'm glad that the Indoril took her crime seriously. She could have killed me with that damn powder of hers, Lyle Schnub. I want justice. Justice! Is there any way you could forgive her? Well, I suppose you're right. Carry on. Carry on! Alright. I do appreciate that you can be very blatantly pro-Indoril here. I just kind of wish that you could also blatantly be pro-House Hlaalu here. You know, I think it's very funny that there's very obvious ones where you're like, oh yeah, I'll be neutral, and then you just consistently keep siding with Great House Indoril. I really wish that there was one for that with Hlaalu. Especially, you know, it's House Hlaalu, right? If anyone should have, like, a weaselly, conniving little option, it should be Great House Hlaalu. Is there any way you could forgive her? I can't believe you're asking this of me. Forgive her. Why should I? If the Indoril foot soldiers won't back down, there will be blood. You could prevent it. Because the temple is telling you to forgive her. Know your place. This is not justice. This is vengeance. I understand why hold a grudge against her, but she would suffer horribly in the hands of the Indoril. The Hlaalu will retaliate if something happens to Calitia. They might come after you. Maybe I can come at him from the level of, like, tribunal doctrine. This is not justice. This is vengeance. Fine, call it vengeance then. I want it nonetheless, whatever it's called. She has to be punished. No, we're doing a cover-up. Come on, Hlaalu-Indoril. This obsession with vengeance is consuming you. Arguing with you is pointless. The Indoril will make Calitia suffer. They will torture her for information. I mean, he probably wants that. Let's make it about him. The obsession with vengeance here, it is consuming you. I want her to suffer, Lyle Schnub. This need is like a divine fire burning inside me. I won't let this go until she's dragged away in chains and thrown into a pit. Oh God, we can invoke... Okay. It's not a divine fire that's burning inside you, but a destructive one, like that of Lord Dagon. Are you really such a cruel man, Hlaalu-Indoril? Cruelty is the domain of Molag Bal. You've become bitter like Malakath. Snap out of it, man, or are you as mad as Sheogorath? Arguing with you is pointless. I think being cruel here is the way to go. I feel like the rest of these are a little superficial, but cruelty is actually, like, right, if we're arguing on points of ideology, of him worshipping, right, the Tribunal Temple and following their doctrine, I think saying that cruelty is the domain of Molag Bal is maybe the winning pick. Are you such a cruel man, Hlaalu-Indoril? Cruelty is the domain of Molag Bal. No, you're wrong. My faith in the three is as strong as ever. The House of Troubles has no hold of me. I simply want the temple to recognize that I've been terribly wronged and the guilty party to get her punishment. I won't argue about this with you anymore. Please leave me alone. Tell me more on Calitia. No, I'm sorry, but I'm done arguing with you. I simply want the temple to recognize that I've been terribly wronged and the guilty party to get her punishment. Please leave me alone. Can I persuade him more? No, I can't. Shit. Maybe I picked the wrong one. I wonder if there was a correct one. I feel like the cruelty was the way to go. You know, that one felt the most convincing to me. Certainly, maybe the other one that was kind of convincing was the Lord Dagon one. But I don't know if that's just recency bias because I've been playing Oblivion Remastered. I don't know.
Come on, I haven't got all day to stand up.
Okay. Let's head over here to the lighthouse. Maybe we can have some sway over here. Oh wait, this is the monastery, not the lighthouse. Good.
I'm very happy to make.
All right, Commander Silsey, I need you to call your fucking men down. What do you want, Hlaalu? I hope this isn't another complaint. It kind of is. Why the temple would harbor an outlander Hlaalu agent is beyond me. I've ordered my soldiers to arrest her and bring her here for questioning. No matter what you say, you will not change my mind. Why do you need to question Calitia? Who gave you the order to arrest her? Commander Silsey, this is madness. Tell your soldiers to stand down before it's too late. I'll pay you handsomely if you let this one slide. Leave Calitia alone, or I'll have the Ordinators burn your garrison to the fucking ground and kill all of you to the last elf. Holy shit. Okay. Why do you need to question Calitia? She might have information about Hlaalu operations in Almas Thirr, in the eastern bank of the River Thir. It is valuable to us. This isn't about justice, then. This is just a convenient excuse to kidnap Calitia. And who gave you the order to arrest her? Leave her alone or we'll burn all this shit down. This isn't about justice, then. This is a convenient excuse to kidnap Calitia. Calitia's botched up attempt at sabotage was indeed a relatively minor crime. It was? And I've understood that Hlaalu-Indoril has fully recovered from the poisoning, so his cries for justice almost seem laughable. But surely, what Calitia did warrants some sort of punishment, especially given what information she might yield to us. You don't care about Hlaalu-Indoril at all, do you? Is that information really worth the bloodshed it might cause? Leave Calitia alone or we'll burn this shit down. You don't really care about Hlaalu-Indoril at all, do you? It's true that his misfortune has been useful to us, but honestly, in the grand scheme of things, he's hardly significant. Had he died, we simply would have found another blacksmith to forge our weapons. You're doing this to further your own career. You're betraying the temple. It is the Hlaalu who are betraying the temple, and so are the priests who are too blind to see that. I'm doing the temple a great service by ridding this city of their corruption. That's all I have to say about that. Go away now. Huh. Can I ask about Calitia again? Surrender her to us and we will avoid unnecessary violence. Can I have another chat with, what's his butt? God, I bet not. I bet I should have came to him after I talked to her. Okay. Hlaalu-Indoril? You're not going to believe it, but they don't give a shit about you. God, he's really not going to believe it. Shit. Okay. Huh. I don't know. We may have to fucking kill him. I don't know. We may just have to kill him and burn all this shit down to the ground. Okay. Let's head over here.
The mighty is.
Good. Over here. Let's see. Laura Stallone.
Friend. You're nearly a legend around here. Please, talk.
Okay, I talked to everybody about Calitia. Hlaalu-Indoril refused to forgive Calitia? Well, it doesn't surprise me. The Velothi are lowly by nature. They have a lot to learn about the high virtue of forgiveness. However, maybe you could negotiate with Commander Silsey at the Indoril garrison in the Northern Lighthouse. I also remember that you delivered a letter to Indoril Donvis in Roadir. Do you have good rapport with the young lord? He could be inclined to do you a favor and order the soldiers to stand down if you did. Oh, you're saying I could go all the way to Roadir? Huh. Okay.
I'd be happy to talk. My pleasure.
Greetings.
Sure. Fuck it, let's give it a shot. It's not that far off. Okay. Great. Let's try and get out of here.
Welcome to Almsivi.
Okay. Oop. Let's get some levitation going on. And is this it? I think. Okay, my man is laughing. Here we go. Good. Okay. Mr. Indoril Donvis, you need to call off these freaks. If you've come to Roadir to speak with my father, make it quick. There are countless matters that require his attention. Background? Okay. Well, let's talk about Calitia. Commander Silsi has ordered her men to capture a Hlaalu agent, who's asked sanctuary from the temple? What do you want me to do about this situation? Ordered the Indoril soldiers to stand down so violence can be avoided. Nothing, never mind. Have them stand down. I see. When I asked you about the problem of a good death, you offered me very poor advice, remember? I'm not inclined to help you now. This Hlaalu agent is clearly a sinner. You would do well to surrender her to Commander Silsi's men. You motherfucker. Commander Ilvi, he is my father. I can only hope to one day follow in his footsteps. Alright, more on Calitia. This Hlaalu agent is clearly a sinner. You would do well to surrender her to Commander Silsi's men. Uh-oh, well, things are not looking too fucking good for Calitia. Okay.
So clumsy. All my fault.
Can I take this ship?
What is it, Sarah?
No. Maybe? I don't know. Okay. Let me get some levitating going on. Right. Yeah, I feel like this isn't going to go over well. Our best course of action now would be like if we could somehow get in touch with Hlaalu or get her to teleport away or something. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to give her the teleport scrolls, right? As a last-ditch effort.
Let us peace be.
Okay, let's quick save. Good.
Yes, citizen.
Okay. Find a way to defuse the situation, Initiate. Bloodshed must be avoided. Calitia is in our protection. Okay.
Welcome, friend. You're nearly a legend around here. Please, talk.
Jalor Indo. Hlaalu. Yourself. Follow me. I will escort you to Hlaalu lands where you are safe. What do you think we should do? I don't know. I wish you could make those soldiers just go away. Okay, here. I'm just going to... I don't really have any other option here, I think. Unless I can scare them off. Can I scare them off somehow? We have orders to arrest Calitia. Surrender her to us and no one gets hurt. Well, her. Except her, of course. Okay. Where's that damn Hlaalu rogue? We're losing our patience. You're disrespecting the temple law. Leave. I beg your pardon, Outlander. We don't mean to disrespect the temple. We're just following the commander's orders. Okay. I need to consult Laura Stellan. Just stay calm, okay? Very well. We'll wait, but only for a moment. Okay, same. Let's see, I think we're going to have to... I'm going to give her a fucking scroll of divine intervention. You have a scroll of divine intervention? That scroll could whisk me away from the safety... to the safety of Old Ebonheart. Far from the reach of House Indoril. I could get a boat there back to Hlaalu lands. Please, will you let me use the scroll? Okay, here you go. Oh, thank you, Lyle Schnub. Here, before I go, I want you to have these scales of profitable imbalance. You can use them to haggle with merchants and strike better deals. A clever invention, wouldn't you say? Thanks again. You're a true friend of House Hlaalu. Yeah, I'm literally in House Hlaalu. Okay. With the aid of the scroll, Calitia casts a divine intervention spell and vanishes. They're going to be so pissed. Okay. But I did get some cool scales. Oh, cast when used. I can equip them? How? Is it an amulet? My god, I think it is. Yeah, it's an amulet. Okay. Well, sure. Gonna drink some booze here. Alright, Laura Stallone. You gave Calitia a scroll of divine intervention? That's quite clever, even though I disapprove of resorting to the foreign god's aid. At least the situation has been diffused. Here's a scroll for your reward. I will now refer this matter to the Office of Intercession. They will contact both of the great houses and ensure that this unfortunate business is finally put to rest. I'll make sure to mention your name to Major Domo Andor Arathi. Now, about your duties. Scroll of the First Council. Oh shit, they've already gone. Okay. What does this do? Calm humanoid and creature. 30 to 50 points for 25 seconds and 30 feet on target. Were you about to use this here? Were you about to use it? Alright.
You flatter me with
Cool,
your
let's see.
attention.
Can I get some more magicka here? Hardly. Where's the St. Maris? St. Lothus. Does Lothus have a good magicka restoring one? I don't guess not. And I'm not even absorbing it. Huh. Almsivi restoration. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Great. Alright, well, I think we ought to call it here for now. Like I said, I'm still feeling a little symptomatic or whatever. Not too bad, though. Hopefully next week we'll be back to normal and all of that. But if you'd like to stick around, we will try and eke out a little bit of reading, huh? Why not? Let's see here. How about we read... Let's see. Goodness, we have quite a few we could read. Huh. Okay. How about... Indoril Book of Passing. Have I read that yet? I feel like this could be fitting to read right now. Yeah, I don't think we've read this. Alright. Indoril Book of Passing. Through the doors of the horizon, all are destined to die, but the acceptable ways are few. The great house of Indoril has always and will always uphold the standards of a good death. They are recorded here. Fire. The Indoril of Kalan, which the foreign legions called Ebonheart, now Old Ebonheart, bathed in holy oils and walked into great fires. The wind carried their ashes to Necrom, which tells us that they died honorably. Sleep. St. Delan. Oh, no, wait, haven't I read this? Yeah, I have totally read this before. Oh my gosh, I should have wrote down ahead of time. Okay, how about On Elemental Daedra? I don't think I've read this. On Elemental Daedra by Elver. Many have studied and been mesmerized by the behavior of summonable Daedra in battles and when being attacked. In order to use less magicka and gain longer periods of conjuration time, there have been proposals on how to properly fluctuate the mana stream to certain threads, such as from Magnus to Aetherius' second plane, or through Secunda to the void itself. However, magicka redirection is an extremely complex subject, and but a few wizards have ever claimed to accomplish this, most notably Amion of Crystal Tower. But with him drifting into madness after living 800 years and not eager to teach, the mystery will remain. I was one of the few living Mer to see him perform the conjuration of Frost Atronach with a simple gesture and no mantras at all. As we all know, all common mages have to rely on the usual method of the customary mantra Web ot akem, ut payem ot net, yakem ot ut, or a slight variation of it, and the hand gesture of symmetrically aligning 3 first fingers not to any sphere of Daedra gods. A common point to focus one's attention is the sun, as it is a direct link to the source of magicka itself, and thus neutral. Some disagree though, but Magnus has been proven to be the most powerful of all points in the firmament. When I finally took the chances of actually testing the redirection procedures, the results did not prove to be as successful as I first thought. Firstly, a test environment was needed, so unnecessary deaths would be avoided. I chose to put a Quama Forager in a lair with a traditionally summoned Frost Atronach. Being an aggressive beast as it is, the Quama chose to defend itself from the freezing cold elemental, dying swiftly in the attempt. Yet the Atronach itself showed no signs of aggression against such a beast until attacked. The summoning of an Atronach is considered an offensive act, for the Atronach will engage on any enemy of the caster, with no regards to its own fate. The question remains, though, how does a summoned Daedra detect these aggressors, and could the detection be made more effective, perhaps to the level of thoughts themselves? On a continued experiment, I was to stream the magicka, not make the Atronach's physical appearance visible, but to render only its actions obvious for any dweller of Nirn. This would not be done by an invisibility spell that hides already visible matter. There is a major difference between these two. However, the test failed as the actions of the Atronach were bound between Oblivion and Nirn, not reaching either one. I have not been able to find studies on this subject and doubt there even are any. Another thing to consider was to lessen the amount of cold energy a Frost Atronach releases while being summoned. It seemed that even peaceful critters would either escape or attack when being caught by this small but noticeable field. Unnecessary energy should be either surged to other, more needed attributes or reserved to another purpose later. It might not be much, but as it is gradually building up, summoning 3 Atronach a day without this effect would be noticeable in the magicka surroundings. On repeated experiments with a Quama being near to a Frost Atronach and redirecting the flow from the Elvire field, as I shall call it, to the void itself, pleasant results were finally achieved. The Quama did not, in fact, pay no attention to the Atronach, although it was clearly visible. This called for testing with diseased rats, who were far more eager to attack it, although still a bit hesitant. It seems that for Quama, the only way to detect an odorless elemental is its surrounding heat field, or motion, a Storm Atronach's defining feature. On one thing, uncertainty bothers me, though. Does the said flow method actually apply to all spellcasters, or does it require a connection with the void only formed by fierce practice? This is a peculiar one. This is them sort of like the author delving into, right, what makes a conjured creature get into a fight with something else, right? This is such a weird niche, like, bit of nonfiction. Right? How peculiar. I wonder how many books there are that sort of take deeper dives into seemingly mundane mechanics, because that is definitely one of them. Alright, well, when next we return, our adventures with the Tribunal Temple continue. We may also head on back to Endodrin and deposit some of our crap, because we got quite a bit. Alright, until next time, please take care of each other.